Well, hiya, BookTube. Bill Ruttenberg here with the Ruttenberg Library. Wanted to come to you today and give you a book haul. These are some books that I recently picked up while I was on vacation. I got the opportunity last week well, actually it was 2 weeks ago, I guess, got to go down to Texas and enjoy the ocean, enjoy the 100-degree heat. Yeah, it was a little warm. The ocean was best early in the morning and late in the evening when the sun wasn't beating down on you. As my lovely wife found out the hard way, we went. We got there probably 9:30, 10 o'clock, and they were swimming out in the ocean for like three and a half hours before we ate lunch. And my wife didn't wear the long sleeve cover thing, and she got fried. Now, me, on the other hand, I stayed under. I'm not real big on swimming, and I'm a little bit better at sinking. So I stayed on the beach and just enjoyed the ocean. But there was a big canopy over me, and it kept me from getting all fried. And I didn't hardly get. I don't know that you'd even say I got burnt. I turned very, very slight pink, but other than that, I didn't get any sun. I tried to stay out of the direct sunlight as much as possible. But yeah, my wife got fried. So anyway, it was really hot on vacation, needless to say. But while we were down there enjoying the golf and enjoying some real good food and just enjoying the company of the in-laws, or my father-in-law, I got to go and do some book shopping while I was down there. We didn't do a lot of it, but on the way back home, we stopped at Half Price Books. And that was the very first time I'd ever been there. We'd stopped overnight in Dallas, and my youngest daughter had been saving up all her money, and she got to buy an American Girl doll. And so that was kind of a whole big thing. Her and my wife went for a couple hours at that store and looked around and got overwhelmed by all of the choices there are for those dolls. But she got to pick a doll, and she got her doll, and then we ate dinner, and then we went to the bookstore afterwards. Like I said, Half Price Books, and I'd never been there before, and I was very pleased with what I came home with. I thought that the selection was like awesome. It was almost a little bit overwhelming. You kind of have to, when you go in. They had it categorized very, very well, but if it's your first time in the store, you kind of have to get the lay of the land, and that's essentially what I spent maybe half my time doing, was just figuring out where everything is, what all, how good is the selection and stuff. But it was excellent. And the very first thing that I ran into when I came in the door, they had like one of these little, it was almost like a little separate room. It was kind of a nook almost, and they had what did they have? They had mystery in there. They had crime fiction. I think they had some westerns in there. They had some science fiction. All these paperbacks, mass market paperbacks that were sitting on the shelves, but that most of them were sleeved, and you had to pay maybe a little bit more for them. And I got to digging through there, and I found some Agatha Christie for my Agatha Christie collection up here. I got a couple of shelves. You can't see the one because it's off camera, but I've got almost 2 full shelves full of Agatha Christie. I've been working on. I've got a little project of my own going where I want to get them all, and then I want to read them all. And so I've been working on that. And I found a stack of them here. So let me show them to you. I'm not going to read all of them. Just because I don't want the video to last forever. But here are the Agatha Christie's that I found at Half Price Books. And yes, I may have, maybe I paid a little bit more, but I never see these titles at my used bookstores here. So I paid maybe $1 or $2 more, but I felt it was worth it. So the first one I picked up was The 13 Problems, and this was in a pan edition, and I have no pan books at all. There is a guy online, of course I'm going to forget his name now, but he collects books, and he tries to collect like all the pan books and all the Penguin classics and all the Penguin books, the old Penguin books, and he's always talking about pan, and I had none, and so this is my very first pan book. But anyway, picked that one up, The 13 Problems. I picked up Towards Zero, and I probably should have taken the price tags off of these, but that's okay. But yeah, in pretty good shape. I picked up Dead Man's Mirror. It's got 3 of the best Hercule Poirot mysteries, and kind of a neat little cover on it. There's that one. This one did have a tear in the cover. I plan on reading these, so I'll probably take them out of the plastic, and I might even tape that up a little bit just so it doesn't get ruined. The Mousetrap, which is like her most popular play. It's one of the longest running plays in U.S. history, I think, and I've never read it, and I never see it at my used bookstore, so I picked that up. And then these are the ones that I possibly could see around here, but I haven't seen the titles. But I see these type of Agatha Christie's. They're pretty common, especially this formula here that they do for the cover. I've got several of these already, but I never see the Tuesday Club Mysteries. That was one of her early ones. Matter of fact, this one I'm going to put over on this other stack because I'm going to be reading it very soon. I picked up Mr. Parker Pine Detective. And one of the things that is what I found about Agatha Christie books that's probably the hardest when you're trying to collect the whole set is a lot of these have 2 names. They have a British name, and then they have the American. When they got published in the United States, they have some of them got renamed, and you got to be thorough on your research to know which one's which. And so I run into that every once in a while, where I actually had it, but I had it under the other title. And so sometimes that happens. That hasn't happened a lot, but it has happened a couple of times. Hickory Dickory Death, and I think Hickory Dickory Dock was the other publishing of this one, so I got that one. I got What Mrs. McCullough Saw. Now, I have the other one that is, I'd have to look for, 450 from Paddington. It's up, just off camera. But I have that one, but this is the I believe, original British. Oh, nope, this is the American title then. Or the second title for it anyway. I got N or M. And then the last one that I got of the Agatha Christie's was Easy to Kill. And this one was also published under Murder is Easy, as you can see on the title, though. So I got several different, eras of printings there. Kind of a wide swath, but I like them. I like all the different styles. I think it's kind of neat. And like I said, it's going to help me to fill in some gaps in my reading, because right now I have read all of the Agatha Christie from the 1920s. I've read all of those, which I may be doing a video here sometime in the near future on my Agatha Christie's from the 1920s. And then I don't know that I actually own any that are published in the 1920s, but it's the titles from the 1920s. And right now I'm working on the 1930s. That's the one I'm starting to go through. So a couple of those helped me in my 1930s. So the other ones that I was able to pick up on vacation. So we were at that local Dollar General, and my wife and daughter were looking for snacks. And where do I head? Of course, I head to the book section. And they had a whole bunch of mass markets there. I bet they had 10 rows with 15 deep. So you're saying, 150 mass markets, and I sat and flipped through every one of them, and I actually found some Agatha Christie, but I already had it. And then I found Ken Follett's A Place Called Freedom, and I did not have that one before, and so added that one to the collection. And it's a 2016 Ballantine Books, originally in 1995, it looks like. But I'm glad to add that. Looks like a good historical fiction, and I'll be reading that sometime probably soon. I picked up the other day, was it yesterday or the day before, I went to the library to drop off a couple of books, and then I'd been going through my shelves here in this room and picking out the doubles that I've had. I have a handful of doubles, and I need to, just trying to clear space so I can get these ones that I don't have on the shelves. And so I cleaned out a whole bunch of Louis L'Amours that I'd ended up with doubles of, cleaned out some of my Westerns on the other side, or historical fictions on the other side. And then I went and donated, because I had two of them, Roots. And when I went to the free little library, the buy one, take one, or not buy one, give one, take one, I put the Roots in, and I found a couple of books that were in there, and it was very, very packed. That's why I took two. I normally try to put in as many as I take out, but I wasn't going to get the Roots book even in the thing if I didn't take a couple of them to make room. But I picked up David Grann's The Killers of the Flower Moon, the Osage Murders and the Birth of the FBI. And I'll be honest, this one might end up getting donated back to that little box. I got to see if I had it. I could not remember if I had this one or not, but it was in like real good shape, and I thought, well, I can grab it just in case, and I'll have it if I don't. So I was real happy to pick that up because I want to watch the new movie that came out, but I want to read the book first. And of course, I read The Wager, and I like David Grann's writing, and so I'm looking forward to reading this. And the other one I found that it looked kind of interesting. I saw it at like Walmart and Target a while back. And it's called The Day the World Came to Town, 9/11 in Gander, Newfoundland, by Jim DeFetti. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. But it was all about the planes on 9/11 that got rerouted to Newfoundland, and they had to land them there, and the people in this town had to take care of the people on the plane. And I just thought it sounded like a really neat story of people helping out people, and we don't have enough of that in this world. And I thought that was, it's pretty short, 250 pages or so, and so I thought that'd be worth reading. That might even be, I was even thinking about having that one for my SSR read this next school year, and start off with that one, and I could read small segments at a time during our 20-minute reads. And then the last book that I picked up that I was tickled to find, because on BookTube, we have a new reading event. Linda, the book lady, is, and I think her channel is called Elder Talk now. She's started with Arion over at Book Zealots. They are starting a read-through of a complete read-through of David McCullough's works. And of course, David McCullough was a great history writer, wrote for a few, 3 or 4 decades. I don't know how long, probably more than that. But anyway, he did history books and documentaries and all kinds of stuff. You'd probably be familiar with his voice on some of the PBS documentaries as the narrator. But anyway, famous writer, won the Pulitzer a couple different times. His book, John Adams, I think is the one that, that's the one that won the Pulitzer, 1776. He wrote a biography on Harry Truman, the Johnstown flood. That was his very first one. Well, anyway, Linda and Arion are going through, and they're doing this complete read-through, and I wanted to participate. Now, the reason I really wanted to participate in this is I've been actually doing, over the last year or two, a complete read-through on my own before I found out anything about this. And so they've got scheduled over the next 3 years. They've got, a month or 2 months for every one of the books, depending on their size. And then they've got breaks here and there to account for like holidays or summer or, stuff like that. But long story short, I did not have the Great Bridge. I have most of his books, but I did not have the Great Bridge, and I was able to find that at Half Price Books. Again, it's in like brand new condition, just have a little remainder mark, but that doesn't bother me. But it's like brand new condition, and I had not read this one, so I was super excited to read this. I saw part of a documentary on this, and on the book, and David McCullough, or maybe it was on David McCullough, and they were focusing on the book. But and I've seen stuff on the Brooklyn Bridge. super excited to read it, long story short, and I was able to pick that up at Half Price Books. And this is like, I think the second book that he published. Yeah, it goes back to, let's see, 1972. Goes clear back to 1972 because the Johnstown flood, I believe, was his very first one, and I've read that one. So this will be the one that they are doing in, I believe, September is when they're going to start on this. So again, real excited to join in their readathon or read along, read through, whatever you want to call it. Real excited about that, and so pick that one up at Half Price Books. And yeah, BookTube, that is my book haul from vacation. Be interested to hear what you think about some of these titles I was able to pick up along the way. See if I can do a big stack of them here. I won't stack them up one at a time because I probably will drop it. But here you go. Here's your pyramid. Here's the books I found, and I was pretty happy with them. So what do you think? Did I do all right? Have you read them? Would you recommend any of them? And yeah, thank you for watching, BookTube, and appreciate you sticking with me here for a few minutes. And until next time, happy reading.